Hi guys, welcome back to the MCM Buzz stage. Hope you're good. We are fantastic because we have on our sofa from Sleepy Hollow, please welcome Tom Mison.
Thank you.
So, how are you? We were just talking about the fact that you drove here today. I'm well impressed.
Thank you very much.
And last time we saw you, you were just moving back to England. So how's the move been for you?
It's nice to be home. It's always nice to be home. When you're away filming for a very, very long time, it's always a relief to come back and relax. I find that I just stock up on PG tips when I'm away.
I totally would.
It's fine.
That's your brew.
Yeah.
And we were saying, so obviously with Sleepy Hollow here, we also have John Noble.
Yes.
And so how has it been catching up with him?
He's the nicest man in the world. He's such a lovely man, and I loved working with him. I hope I'll work with him again in the future. I'd like to do a play with John. He's, as well as being amazing in Lord of the Rings and in Fringe and all of the rest of it, and Elementary recently, he was terrific. He's a very prolific stage actor and
a director as well.
And director, yeah. Yeah, he's very good.
I think he's a professor as well.
I think I'd be very nervous being directed by John. Because I'd be doing everything and I'd just look at him and say, he could do it better.
Well, he did say it was very weird playing your son, but in a good way. What would you say to that? Because it was a very unusual family unit, wasn't it?
Strangely, I don't think it's the weirdest thing that's happened on the show.
Probably not.
I think there was an episode of Mork and Mindy where Mindy laid an egg and an old man came out. Does anyone remember that? That did happen.
Yeah.
I thought it was a horrible dream I might have had, but no, that's real.
Fantastic episode, yeah. So obviously you are on Sleepy Hollow, and we have to say congratulations because you've just got a season 4.
That's right.
When did you find out?
I found out literally 5 minutes before it was released online. I got a call from my agent in America and he said, we can't talk long because it's about to be released, but there's a 4th season. Congratulations, bye, and hung up.
But were you surprised slightly? Because certainly some fans were surprised given Abby's exit.
Yeah, no, I was surprised. It's, you know, it's flattering. It's flattering that they have faith that the show can continue. I understand why. I think we've got a good cast we all have a very good relationship, and I still think there's plenty more stories to explore, so yeah.
And obviously a lot of people would feel that the crux of the show was Ichabod and Abby.
Of course.
So with her now gone, where do you see the show going? You know, what would be the new avenue?
I don't know yet. The writers go back into the writers' room in, I think, a week or so, the 6th of June, when they'll start plotting how best to, you know, fill. It's a big gap. It's a big gap to leave out. A large part of the success of the show, I think everyone can agree, was the relationship between Ichabod and Abby. So we need to find a way to explore it without that. And I've spoken to a couple of the writers, and they're very optimistic, and so I look forward to seeing what they come up with.
I think we do too. But for those Ichabod shippers out there who will really miss the relationship, what would you sort of say to them in terms of...
It's not my fault.
It isn't. So now that she's gone, and obviously you've lost many characters, you know, over the time. You've also lost Joe.
Joe, that was very sad as well.
Who do you see Ichabod getting closer to now, and who would you like to work more with on a personal level?
On a personal level, I love working with Lindy, and I hope to do a lot more next season with her. Mm-hmm. Of course, at the end of the last season, we discovered that Ichabod has another journey to go along, which is, oh, look at that, that's very sweet. All dead.
Yeah. That's our dead people shot. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
Apart from you.
Oh, God. I don't know what to say. Yes, we find Ichabod going off to learn more about this new group that he discovered Washington set up an organization to fight the supernatural. Washington set it up back then, and I mean, I don't know where they've been in the last 3 years. I could have done with some help when all of my friends were dying. But yes, so there'll be plenty of new characters coming in there, I'm sure. But as I said, I know nothing.
I mean, so in terms of that respect, would you like season 4 to be more sort of people-focused then in that case, with a secret organization, or more monster-focused?
I think we should be able to strike a good balance. I think there was, particularly in the first season, there was a really good balance of the human relationships and then the big baddie relationships. And that was something that I thought was particularly clever about the show. And so I'm sure we'll start to find that balance again. I think it would be a shame if we were to lean too far into either camp.
Yeah.
So we'll
maybe still have the monster of the week, but the mythology with the secret organization.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see who the overarching big baddie will be this year. It's nice knowing that the Headless Horseman is back running around the place. I hope we see more of him.
Well, there was kind of hints that maybe Ezra or Betsy Ross might be more involved next year. What do you say?
Betsy Ross?
Or Ezra as well. Like, there was hints in the last
Ezra.
episode.
Oh, yes. Ezra, I'd be very surprised if he wasn't. Betsy Ross, I have no idea whether Nikki's coming back. I spoke to her the other day, but we didn't really discuss whether she was coming back or not. So I really wouldn't like to speculate on that. When I speculate, I get in trouble.
I was going to ask you to speculate then, but but the CEO of Fox, Dana Walden, also said that there was a variety of reasons why Abby's exit seemed right, and the reasons behind it. Can you shed any light on that at all?
Well, I think if the CEO of Fox said something, I don't think I can really add to that. She knows much more than I do.
Yeah, but she only said that there was a lot of factors towards towards Abby's death. Any ideas?
From where I am, I know very, very little of the behind the scenes goings on. I wish I could shed some filth with you, but I don't really get that sort of gossip. I just find out whether a hair person's sleeping with a lighting person or not. I could tell you all about that.
Would you like to hear that?
But I couldn't tell you who's sleeping with who in the Fox offices.
Well, we have lots of fan questions for you, so we'll go to those in just a minute. But I wanted to ask you, last time you were here, you mentioned that you worked with Benedict Cumberbatch on Parade's End.
I did.
Could you tell us a bit about working with him at that time? Any stories from that set?
I mean, he's a great actor. I don't need to tell anyone how brilliant he is. He's one of the best of my generation. Oh, there he is. I'm pleased you have a picture of another actor prepared for my Q&A. I've known Benedict for a very long time, and it was the first time that we'd worked together. And I'd gladly do it again. I think he's everything that you want in an actor, which is why he's deservedly so popular. Because he's terrifically intelligent. He's always thinking. He's always inventive. And I'm a Cumberbitch.
Me too. Okay, so to mix things up a little bit, we have a TARDIS full of Twitter questions for you.
Excellent.
Would you like to lift the lid and pick one out?
Someone else's props for my Q&A as well.
It's Comic-Con. We like to share the nerdiness.
Okay, from @Sngwa, SSNGWA. I don't know how you pronounce that. What does Tom think of Abby saying her sole purpose was to carry Crane forward? Good, in with a light, easy question. As I said in the panel earlier, I thought that was a great shame. To suddenly at the end of 3 seasons say that Abby's sole purpose was to push Crane across. I didn't hide it at the time that I thought it was slightly misguided. I don't think Ichabod came out of it well. It weakened him slightly. Abby certainly doesn't. But I can fully appreciate why it was done, and there were lots of factors that the writers have to think about. Shall I go to another
Go to the
question,
next
everybody? What a wonderful time. Deblam67. Taina, that's you, isn't it? Taina VIP? Oh, that's to you.
Yeah.
Question 2. Hashtag Tom Mison. I'm a hashtag mum. Do you know yet when season 4 of Sleepy Hollow starts filming? No. I'll probably be the last person to find out. I think it's in July. I think the writers go back in June, we start in July, and then it'll be aired, I think, at the beginning of next year. At Tom Mison Fans. Oh.
At.
Question for Tom. Did he splurge? That's a terrible place to stop. Did he splurge on anything for himself once he started getting that steady Sleepy Hollow paycheck? Full of subtlety and tact, Tom Mison Fans. I'm not really a big splurger, to be honest. I think that... No, I'm going to buy a bass guitar next week. I've decided to learn the bass. So I found a very nice 1970s Fender jazz bass, if anyone's interested. Nods from there. Are you a bassist? Good choice, the jazz guitar, yeah, American standard? Cracking, thanks. Kira_Assad, how would you feel about a Lucifer and Sleepy Hollow crossover? Would you do a bathing suit beach scene? Are they related? Are there bathing suit beach scenes in Lucifer? I haven't seen it yet.
I actually have no idea. I really want to find out now.
Oh, really? Well, answer to the first one, yes, I would feel great about it. Answer to a bathing suit beach scene, yes, I would feel fruity about it.
But you did do a crossover last season with
With
Bones.
Bones, yeah.
It was fantastic. So how was that?
I enjoyed that. I thought it would be a disastrous idea. I thought it would be terrible. But actually it worked out rather nicely, having two completely different universes collide. Speaking of which, I saw Jean-Luc Picard flirting with a couple of stormtroopers around the corner there, which I rather liked. At Susanna Fraser, what is the plan? Was it the plan all along this season to kill Abby in the finale, or was it a midstream adjustment? I only found out about it at the very end. I found out about it an episode or two before we shot it. I don't know whether it was a plan all along. Like I said, I'm not party to any of those conversations. I imagine it would have been something they'd thought about. It's not a decision you instantly make. Say, I know for the next episode, let's kill off the lead actress. So it must have been buzzing around for a while.
So this is the last Twitter question, then we're going to take some from the audience.
Yay! Missy M749. Sleepy Hollow writers aside, what was your personal vision for how how season 3 should have progressed? What was my vision for season 3? I'll tell you something that I thought halfway through when we saw the zombie General Hal. I thought, wouldn't it have been nice? Oh no, I do remember what I thought. Wouldn't it have been nice for zombie General Hal and the Headless Horseman to team up to try and resurrect the entire dead British Army and start the War of Independence again? I think that's going to be my pitch for 4. Try that with the budget cuts.
There's going to be a lot of similar looking people to you. You're going to just a lot of costume changes. Yes. Okay, right. So if you stick your hands up for me, I'm going to come around and see if you have a question. Any takers? Am I just being blind? Stand up.
Hello.
Hello.
You said last time something which I find a bit weird. You say you were not allowed to do something else aside of Sleepy Hollow. And I wanted to know because you got a short
Doing
season
other
now.
work?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It's due to lots of scheduling things. They're just if they don't know when they're starting, it means any potential clashes mean other work is not possible. So even before we have a schedule, if there's a grey area where we might be shooting, that's still tricky to do other work. It kind of goes against everything in an actor's being to turn down work, so it's, but it's part of it, and they'll, at least I get the end of it with a I'm not unemployed.
Any more questions?
Thanks everyone for coming, by the way. I do really appreciate it. It was nice to see everyone in the 2 panels, and it's really, it means a lot. So thanks for coming and smiling occasionally.
Hello, Tom.
Hello there.
How long did it take you to perfect Ichabod's bow?
Ichabod's bow. We saved that in the first season particularly. Saved it for a long time, and actually there were quite a few bows that I'd thought about and spent far too long wondering what sort of bow would suit. The first one was to Abby, just before I remember just before getting a dart in the neck, of course. And then there was a different sort of bow for Zoe, an accidental bow, and I'm a big fan of the bow because I get to swish that coat about. I heard, and I hope it's a true story, that when John Malkovich was doing La Liaison Dangereuse, the film, there was a history expert on set the whole time. And he did a bow, and they said, there are 1,001 different bows that they would have done, and that's not a single one of them. And he turned and said, now there's 1,002, which I like.
Next question.
Hi, it's just
Hello.
about the production in terms of, like, we know that what cast members might be coming back in season 4, but do you have any information about showrunner or lead writers that will be coming back?
I know that Clifton remains as showrunner. I know that Raven and Albert Kim are definitely coming back. I know that sadly Damien Kindler and Heather Renier, who I'm a massive fan of, they won't be coming back. And then I'm pretty sure there are others sticking around. I'm not entirely sure. The only 3 that I know for certain are Clifton, and I've heard from Raven and Albert as well. So far that's what I got.
That's great. Well, we have to wrap it up now, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's a shame.
And I'm sorry also if anyone sent in some video questions. We are having some technical difficulties. But it's been fantastic talking to you, as always. Good luck with season 4.
Thanks
Everybody,
very much.
please give a massive round of applause
Thank
to
you very
our
much. Thanks a lot.
panelist, Tom Mison.
Thanks.